guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Let's Chat with Lily. I'm your host, Lily Tawaku, and this is my co-everything, my co-pilot in life, my co-host, my co-exister. She just co's everything, guys. Everything with her is co. Wherever I am, she's there. She's my co. Please introduce yourself, co.
Hi guys, my name is Ko, aka Isetu Nyoni for now. And I am the co, guys. Listen, I even co-spend her money.
Yes,
So
she definitely does. But I also believe that also comes with just being a little sister, guys. Little sisters, they just like spending our money, and that's just how it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our very first official episode. We are so excited.
listen,
We are oozing. We are falling out of the seams. That's how much excitement we have. You know when you think when the cupcake is falling out of,
my, we're not gonna say the restaurant, but
yeah, it's bubbling. It's just there. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so glad to start this journey with you guys. We certainly hope that it brings you something. It brings you something, whether it's a laughter, whether it's something to think about, whether
aha,
it's yes,
aha moment.
like where you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that was the case.
Me too.
Yeah. So before we even do anything, we're gonna tell you guys what we are talking about today. So, Isetu and I are both women that have left a marriage. We have walked out of a marriage of something that was meant to be forever, and we decided to choose ourselves and the little people that we brought into this world.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of background. Um, I am a mother of four, and my first two babies are with my previous partner. Isetu is a mother of three, and yes, she's also just recently started to embark on this very difficult journey.
It's been 19 months, guys. 19. Got such a recently. Hey,
But it's recent.
it's recent,
Because
but
it's not over, it's not done, it's not concluded, it's not anything. It's just there. It's just a phase.
yeah, I think it just goes to prove, but when you make that decision, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get to the conclusion soon.
Now.
So you do it, you must be sure, and you must persevere.
So today, welcome to the episode the red pen single divorced mothers have to deal with. I thought that this topic was very fitting for us to start with. Just because it's personal. It's something that we both had to go through, and I think we have some insight. It may not be similar, it may not be the same as yours, so do not come for us and say that we said
And it's not the same even
between
between
the
two of us.
and we sisters, and so yeah. I think the first thing that I actually wanted us to discuss was, the stigma that follows being a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to actually present yourself to the world as a single mother. It's hard to even say it out loud. I think sometimes, especially when you're coming from a situation where you were married or you had a partner, and now you're a single mother of three, single mother of two. Oh my goodness, the world is gonna go.
And the minute you just say, "I'm a mother," oh, where's the dad?
Yes. Is he working? Is he at work? Oh, why are you guys traveling alone? Shame. They're not, hey?
Hmm. You know those. Hmm. And then now, and then there's this thing, but different dads.
Yes.
The minute you say, "I'm
Yeah.
with their father," oh, different dads.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
My thing is, single mothers are perceived differently from single fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Single fathers are praised. Single fathers are amazing.
For the most littlest of things that
Yes.
they will even show up with.
They oh look, it's the dad that came to the Mother's Day concert. Oh my goodness, let's clap for him.
The mother does that. You guys want to take over everything.
Yes.
You call yourself the mom and the dad.
Why are you at the Father's Day concert? Guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. And why do you think that is? Why do you think that men are praised when they are a single parent, or when they are a divorced parent who ends up staying with the children, and women are criticized, or they judged, or they are red taped?
I think it's the expectation that a woman has. Like, for example, if you show up for your children, you go to sports day, you do this, it's expected you should do it
As a mom.
as a mom.
Okay.
But then when it's the father, it's like, even if, for example, even in a both parents are in that home, if the mother cooks a meal, it's
Great,
just a normal
whatever.
thing, whatever. But if the father cooks the meal or the father's holding a mop, it's like, oh wow, the world just shook and went upside down. Like, why?
I think it stems from the roles that males and females took up
Yeah.
previously, like back in the days, like old days, where the male was the provider. So the male would go out, come back with, let's now take it back, would come back with meat, or like an animal that he shot. That was where it stemmed from. And the woman would be at home with the kids, looking after them, cooking, making sure that whatever the meat that comes has like a starch or something to eat it with, because you know. And then I think it evolved, and then men, things changed, so we moved from the hunting and gathering. Then men started getting jobs. So even then, women were still expected to be at home, cook, clean, make sure the kids are good, everything is fine. But then now times have moved, and in their moving, women now have jobs. Women wake up every day and they go to work. Women have responsibilities, they have lives outside of the family home, and it becomes a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a tough one. So let's talk a little bit about what you feel personally. Now let's leave the outside world. Personally, why do you feel that people would prefer it if the children were with their father instead of with you?
I'm not sure if I'm getting you.
So like how a lot of people will be like, oh no, the children must be with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the children are with their mother, we have a couple of checklists or checkpoints that the mother must jump through in order for her to qualify to be a mother to your own children.
I I think it's because I think also the part that where men are known to be the providers.
That's what
That's what gives people the role that women can't go out there and provide
and still look after
and still look after the children. So it's I think I think that's what makes people believe that you can't be both when you are a mother. Why you need to be red paint. Like, a man can live with their children, they're not going to be checked. Where
who's the nanny.
Who's the nanny? Where's the house? How does that look like? How many bedrooms is it? Is there a toilet in the house? Is there this? Is there this? But when the roles are reversed, it's like women are expected that they cannot have these things, or they're not given the grace
To have a shortfall.
To say, okay, this and this is not happening. What's actually more important for the children? Is it all these checklists, or actually the care that the mother's going to do? Because we nurturers by nature.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna have a blind spot in making sure that the kids are taken care of. More like we assume that a man won't see certain things, they won't pay attention to certain things. They can buy this and buy that and buy that, but they can't. There's certain things that they're gonna miss. So I think, yeah,
It's a little bit of a tough
it's
one.
a little bit of a tough one.
But also, I think it just stems from whatever efforts the man puts in.
It's praised.
Yes, it's praised because we hardly see it. So nobody wants to break him down. Nobody wants to challenge him. Nobody wants to question
Yeah.
or make him jump through hoops, because so many, and this is not a stigma, but it's a fact that unfortunately a lot of men don't want to come to the party. So when a man is coming to the party and is going above and beyond the woman, then excuse me, I think it's a matter of let's leave it. Let's
He's
not
trying.
upset. Yes, let's not upset him any further. Maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he'll change his mind, or it almost feels that way.
Yeah.
And now I want to ask you about the judgment from family, from your friends, and the community. Because I put friends in inverted commas because the minute there's so much judgment, the name friend sort of doesn't fit in that scenario.
Yeah. I feel like most of the time, the friends or the family that judge are people that most probably are not parents, number one, or are parents, but they're in the situation where they still both parents are still together. So, and there's this thing of do it for the children.
Stay for the children.
Listen, you are staying for yourself. There's no way.
But I feel like to a certain extent, staying for the children can be a situation. It can be. We have a mom who's based at home, no income. We have a dad who's providing, not perfect, but providing, making sure that there's food, there's lights, there's a roof over the head, there's education in the children's life. The basics are covered, right? If you are now, as the woman in this situation, going to get up and leave, where are you going to go? Maybe, um, even the situation at home is not that great. Maybe you stay in a town. Let's say you stay in a suburban like place, right? And home is rural, very rural, and your children, you have a couple of children, not just one. You have a couple of children. They're in schools and they're in good schools. Now, the minute you leave, the schools go away. The stability of a meal every day, of a roof that has space, that is comfortable, it goes away. Because now you're uprooting the kids and you're going home. Let's say you're going home, right? And at home you don't have your own house. You maybe going to your mother's house. Maybe your mother's not even there anymore. Because these are situations that we go through. These are things. Your mother's not even there anymore. Maybe you have a bigger brother or a couple of bigger brothers, and the homestead is filled with the bigger brothers' families. So let's say you have 2 or 3 bigger brothers in the home, and they have their families there, and here you are now in Tombi,
coming home.
Because now you are in Tombi, which is in Tombi is a woman, is a girl child, a girl child coming home. That situation, how easy is it for you when you're thinking about it as a person? Now, when you're making this decision of leaving, how easy is it? Who's gonna feed you? Do you think maybe you don't get along with your brother's
All the
wives?
brothers, yeah.
Maybe you don't get along with your brother's wives.
Now you listen, initiated it to a point she doesn't like you anymore.
Like there's I don't think it's black and white, this decision of staying in a marriage that doesn't work for you as the individual. So yeah, I don't know.
But I think everything is hard.
Yes.
Nothing is easy.
Yes.
So you need to choose whether you staying in that marriage, how hard is it for you? Why are you making that decision? Are you the best mother you can be to those children in that situation? Like, for example, I'll bring it back to myself. I was not my best self anymore. I forgot who I was. When you're not your best, you're not the best at anything else that you're going to do. So I think if then you're gonna weigh your option is me living with my sister-in-law that doesn't like me, worse
Better-
than me staying in my house, in my what, but it's not really your house because
you can be chased out.
You can be chased out any
10 minutes,
second. You know, you can be told you're in dabas and you have to keep quiet. You know, so you need to weigh your options, but also you need to also realize even though you might be a stay-at-home mom and whatever, you can still do anything at any time at any point in your life. You can start over at 30, you can start over at 40, you can start over at 60, 50.
I think also fear plays
a very big role
because things are they're not.
Also, another thing, why is it that when the woman now is deciding to leave, it means then that the children lose what they have? Is then the man doing these things for the children because the woman is there, or or is the child losing these things because
Out
of you?
spite.
Yeah, because then
I feel like there are a couple of scenarios in this situation, right? For example,
mm-hmm,
I'll give maybe 3.
mm-hmm,
The first scenario is the man will carry on staying in the house. Let's say this house is a house that is paid, or
okay,
not paid, but a house that is bought.
and that's still being paid off.
So he needs to pay his bond, right? So now, when the children and the wife were under the roof, he was covered for the bond, and the food that he was buying was covering everybody. And the fees maybe not. That doesn't really matter whether they're there or not. Excuse me. And the other things, just the lifestyle in general.
Mm-hmm.
So now this man, let's say this is as far as he can go financially. This is
Mm-hmm.
as far as he can go. Now you as a woman leave this household and you want him to pay your lodging now.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, there's still that house. You want him to pay the fees for the kids, which is not a big deal because the fees were being paid, that sort of thing. And then you want him to feed you and the family. So now he has to essentially run 2 households
At the same
at
time.
the same time, which is not at all, which is not possible all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible all the time. Sometimes, yes, somebody can have the means to do both, but in the world we're living in now, in the state of the country that we are in now, people are barely making it with their bonds because the inflation rate has gone up so much. It's crazy.
Okay.
So there's that. Then there's 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's spiteful one.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if you want my money, you spend my money under my roof. If you want anything from me, you can get it as long as you're under my roof.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a different situation. Now you find yourself fighting, and you end up also reaching a point where you're just like, you know what, yeah, it's fine. Let me struggle, because now obviously this financial muscle is a means to still put you down.
Yeah.
It's a means to control you. It's a means to keep you where I say you are. And if you think you're gonna step 1 foot out, I'm gonna show you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where most ladies are finding themselves.
Yeah. Also, I think just the minute the word divorce is taken out,
Mhm.
the worst of people come out.
I believe that too. I genuinely believe that, because you find men
Because
that
like you get snippets. Like for example, sorry to cut you, but like for example, if whatever makes you want to leave, you would have seen snippets of certain things or certain traits that you don't like from a person.
Yeah.
And then the minute that D word is released, you get the full-blown experience non-stop of that person. Because like if, for example, let's say if you're still married and you're still trying to figure it out, they'll release that person and then
they'll reel it back in.
they'll reel it back. Oh, sorry,
Yes.
I shouldn't have done that. But the minute that you say, listen, listen, all of it,
Full-blown steam.
full-blown.
I don't know. I don't now you're in the situation whereby you are dealing with an ex-spouse that cannot even be in the same room as you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you then successfully co-parent these little people? How do you navigate that? that's my thing. Like, how do you try and be the bigger person? How do you try to to even make that effort to be like, okay, listen, I know that you and I had something special, and unfortunately it's not where it is now, and that sucks.
Hmm.
But now we have two little people, we have three little people that deserve the best versions of us. But when we're together, we don't give each other the best versions. We don't even give them the best versions of
Of ourselves,
ourselves
yeah.
when we're together. So, how do you convince an ex spouse to come to the party for the sake of the children?
I think the 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 less bitter spouse is the one who always has to,
Make an extra effort.
they have to make that extra effort. They have, because at the end of the day, when someone leaves something that they thought was forever, it's not an easy decision to make, number one. Number two, they're making that decision because they believe it's the best decision for everyone involved. So if you're saying you're leaving because you want to be a better mother, if you the mother's leaving, or the father, you want to be a better parent, you want to be a better person to yourself, the better person for everyone around you. So that person who actually makes that decision is the one who's going to need to put in more effort into making this person understand that, listen, at the end of the day, especially if there's children, the most important thing is these people. And most of the time, that person is the one who's hurt the most because they have to bite their tongue more often than the other person. They have to take the beating more than the other person because that other person just says whatever they think, whenever they think it, however, because they hurt. Because at the end of the day, for that person also left, it was not an easy decision. They were also hurt, but they had to work through it because they knew that this is not working. There's a bigger picture to this. So until that other parent is gotten over the hurt, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy.
I hear you. I think it's tough. I wish I wish men would, or I wish, let's say, let me not say men,
Mm.
because ladies as well do this. I wish we would be able to differentiate between the hurt we feel for an ex-spouse and the love we have
Have
for our children.
children. Yeah, that's
I think that's the biggest thing that gets mixed up, because you find women. Let's not pick on the men. I feel like we've been picking on the men a lot. You find women who were the ones who were maybe more financially stable in the relationship,
mm,
withdrawing child support, not helping the father out, because the father, let's say you there's this woman who's working hard, like big job, cannot stay with the child, and you have the dad who was at home looking after the children, like though there are those roles that exist.
yeah.
So now this dad finds another mom, maybe at a sports day that the mom couldn't attend because she had a meeting or she had a trip out of town or whatever the story was, and she meets another person and they fall in love, and now dad wants to leave
Mm-hmm.
the marriage, but mom realizes that the children need to stay with dad for a stable life because
Mm-hmm.
her life is too hectic, but now dad needs financial muscle from mom. I'm just making an example. This can go either
The
way.
way,
Either
yeah,
way.
true.
It can
Yeah.
go either way. Now, the 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 mom in this situation needs to practice the differentiation of the kids need to be okay, but how can I fund his lifestyle with another woman? Because chances are she's going to move out of the house, because then the kids' life remains the same. So now this woman will now have access into
The
this
whole
house,
home. Yeah.
and that might not be something that is nice to swallow. It might not be
To feel like I'm taking care now of this woman and
and my ex-husband,
ex-husband.
But forgetting the bigger picture, that you're taking care of your kids, your ex-husband happened to benefit from it, and that's not all the time. Sometimes I feel that ex-spouses with financial muscle choose to punish the kids through the mom
Or through the father.
or through the father, through the other parent. Let's see you take care of those kids without my help.
Let's see.
Let's see how far you're gonna get. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're gonna come crawling back, which I believe is a form of abuse.
It is.
It's a form of abuse because the minute you are spiting your face by biting off your nose, it doesn't look good. Your face doesn't look good without a nose. It just doesn't look good. No matter how pretty you are,
no matter how big that nose, no matter how skinny that nose, keep the nose on the face.
Keep the family unit
together.
Yes, intact. So I don't know. I think it's just
it takes emotional intelligence.
And most of the time, the lack of the emotional intelligence is what made the other spouse leave
in the first place. Yeah.
So you end up making these decisions of, you know what, I'm going to have to deal without this party. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to figure out a plan without this party, because then it takes a while. It takes a while for people to come to the party. It's bad, but it's what it is. Now, I touched on the part where the other party meets another party.
Okay. Oh.
I feel like it doesn't matter how much time you give your ex-spouse or how much time it takes for you to move on. The minute you do it and the minute they find out, it'll still feel like betrayal.
They will say you cheating.
Yes, it was. Even if let's say the divorce is finalized and there's a decree and everything, it still feels like betrayal. And in that point, you get people that will withdraw now the financial help. They'll stop helping you out. They'll be like, no.
Tell that person
to take care of the kids. But how? Where do you get the audacity to tell another woman or another man
to take care of your children?
Kids? Your kids that you brought into your kids. Guys, come
Make
on.
it make sense.
It doesn't balance.
The seesaw is not seesawing. How?
So I wonder, like, where does that come from? What do you think that they still think that there's a chance that things will get better, or things will be fixed?
I think that's the only explanation.
That they think.
But you will find that sometimes both people have moved on.
Okay.
Both parents, you've separated. The one initiated moves on. The one who was left moves on. But the one that was left will still feel the betrayal when the other person, the one who left, moves on. So then I would then go to say that then that means that person still felt like you guys would get back together, because
deep down,
somewhere, somehow, you still feel like, no, this is just a phase. And it will pass. Because why would you move on, you've got somebody else, the other person now moves on, you've got an issue.
What do we do?
Somebody's jealous. The green-eyed monster is there.
But then the green-eyed monster mustn't affect the children. That's my thing. Like it all ties back to emotional intelligence. We need to think for the sake of the kids. We need to think for the sake of the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have moved on as
as the lever and the left,
yes.
or as
you are the one. You are the exit strategy, most. You have moved on, and then how much time do you need to give yourself and just on your new partner before you introduce him or her
to the children?
Yes, how much time? Like, what's the right amount of time?
I don't think there is a right amount of time.
Okay.
Personally, because personally, there's not a right amount of time, because okay, it's one of two. You might introduce the person too soon and then it doesn't work out and then the kids are affected. Or you might not introduce the person ever. You guys date outside of this, the children don't know this person. You marry this person and then this person doesn't gel with your family, doesn't gel with your kids. So
I think it's a tough one. You see, when you mention the part of getting married and your children don't know this person, I'm gonna I'm gonna touch on a topic that I feel for me,
mm-hmm,
I don't think I would be able to do,
mm-hmm,
but a lot of people do it,
mm-hmm.
and I'm still trying to grasp my head around it.
Okay.
We have women
Mm-hmm,
who have kids
mm-hmm.
before they meet their spouse, or let's say they have kids in another marriage,
Uh-huh.
and then that marriage ends, or for whatever reason, deaths, disagreements, whatever the story is, like what it ends,
Uh-huh.
and now they have these two kids, or these three kids, or this one child,
Mm-hmm,
and then they go and get married,
mm-hmm.
and they leave the child
Behind.
behind.
Hey.
They leave the child behind, whether it's with their mom, whether it's with the ex's family, whether it's with a granny, but they don't include
This
their child,
child.
their previous child, in this in
In
this
this new
marriage, in this new
building, in
life.
this household,
Yes, in
yes.
this new life. And then they go on and then they'll have another child.
Mm-hmm.
My fear is, how does the child who's left behind feel when you can see your mom who didn't live with you, or who lived with you for a while, and then things suddenly changed, and then they didn't live with you anymore.
Watch you raise now this new child.
Yes. I've always wondered, like, how must those children feel? Like, how do you feel when you see your mom having other kids, and those kids, because they have a dad
There.
there who's present, they're good enough to stay with their mother?
Yeah, true. Like you get to see, you wake up every morning, you know how it feels to be made breakfast by your mom. You know, like I think it builds a resentment then
Within
amongst
the
the
child,
within then with the new siblings. Like, am I not good enough to be
in that household.
to live with my mom? Yeah.
I think it baffles me how this can be a thing that is done. But I also understand sometimes you have children um that are older, they don't gel with your new husband, they causing
They
trouble,
choose or they make the choice that I don't wanna
live
with
with you
you.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes. But now let's talk about young kids.
They don't have choice.
I don't even think they're aware of the choice that they're making. I don't think they are they are
Of
right
sound mind
mind
to
to
make
make
that
that
decision.
of, I want to go live with this person, or I want to go live with that person. Personally, and
Mm-hmm.
this is my personal opinion of it, I could have never gotten married if it meant that my children, my first two children, had to be sidelined from this union.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I know that people have different
Different
preferences
opinions.
and
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah.
opinions about all of this, but personally, I don't think I could have entered this marriage with that no, my two older girls are gonna live outside of my household. They're not gonna live with me. They're gonna live with somebody else. It doesn't matter who, and not even because I don't have my mom alive,
Mm-hmm.
but
Even if
I don't even think, even if she was alive, and even if she had offered, I don't think it would have been something that I would have considered, or something that I would have taken and said, okay, you know what.
yeah, no.
But then now, now you have this mixed family,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the older children that their father's not in the home, and you have the younger children,
Their father's in the
the
home.
father's in the home. There's a fine line now between how you treat the kids. It needs to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to go accordingly, because you don't want to,
To say, oh, just because your father's here.
yes, you don't want to inflict that resentment again within the siblings, because
Yeah. Because
you don't want to inflict that resentment within the siblings, because now they have a present parent. They have two parents in the house, and maybe the other children have one. I think it's tough, because now if you look at it from both situations, maybe they're avoiding that. Maybe they're avoiding that situation whereby they have to watch how the new dad interacts with the children, or watch how the new mom interacts with the older children, because now it's causing friction within the marriage as well.
mm.
I think it's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough. I think it.
I think it's tough. Now that I'm looking at it from both sides, I can understand somebody who's like, go stay with mom. Like you,
Go stay with my mother. Go stay. I think also it also then goes to you as the parent, what type of parent you want to be to all your children.
yes.
Because yeah, if, like, for example, like going back to the typical examples where we said there was either a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom, the fact that one party was willing to become the stay-at-home means that it was important for them to be there to raise their children on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So based on the type of parent that you are, and then I guess that's how you come to the conclusion of where then what happens.
What happens when you
move on. Because then if you are a parent where, like, for example, for me, I was a stay-at-home mom, I'm not gonna leave and I'm not there because because at the end of the day someone makes a sacrifice, because now we live in a world where both people can work, both parents can be providers in that household.
Yeah.
So if you actually make that decision to stay, it's because then that means it's very important for you to be present in your children's lives. So now if you now leave or you are now left, it's still important to you whether you can provide or you can't provide for those children to be there.
Yeah,
so even when you move on, it's still important
still
for
one of
you.
the values
It's
that-
the very, yeah, it's like you can't sacrifice
I hear you.
that part of
I hear you.
being present.
I'll bring it to myself.
Mm.
I wasn't a stay-at-home mom. I've always been a working mom.
Mm-hmm.
And when the marriage ended, there was no part of me that wanted somebody else to take over my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I've always lived with my kids from the time they were I've always lived with them. They've always been with me. And going into this relationship, or starting this relationship, I think it was important for me to voice that in the very beginning, that listen, it's me and it's my girls. I don't see a life whereby I am living without them.
Yeah.
I don't see a life whereby they are a distant part of my life. They're not with me every day. They're not like, I don't see. And I was lucky enough to get somebody who understands that some people don't want to raise other people's children.
Yeah, wait. There's also this thing
Yeah.
where people say, I'm a single mom, like to shove down their children down out. But that's the thing, is you're not shoving, you're giving the person a choice.
In
Like,
the beginning,
I'm coming, if you want me, I come with this. I'm not willing to negotiate this part
of my life.
And if that
Is a breaking point,
point, then let it be.
Yes,
We're not shoving down children down anybody's
I
throats.
always hear that. I always hear that as well. That you know how these single
Mothers
like to
shove
their
down
kids.
children,
We're not shoving
having
our
them.
kids.
Yes,
But
but
just letting you know that I come with them, and if you want me, then you need to also accept that they are there.
they will always be there.
I'm not saying pretend to love
Them, yes.
I'm not saying pretend to love them. If your relationship takes a long time to build,
It's fine.
Like it's fine. There's no need for you to force it or
Yes,
pretend like it's them.
Yes.
Don't pretend like, if you guys don't, you can see these things. And I feel like there's ways whereby you can sort of, even though you guys are in the same household, but they don't have to be in his face.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be in her face. Like you can all live together. You don't have to be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
You're very lucky when it happens that your children like your new partner,
And your
and
partner likes
like
your
your new
children.
children, and everything is happening the way it's supposed to be. But that's not always the case. One thing that I feel is detrimental is when one party puts puts on a pretense or an act that, oh, I think your kids are the best thing when you are around. But the minute you walk out the door, they are mean, they are cruel, they are this, they are that. I feel that is the worst thing that you can do as a person, because now the person that you are with thinks that they are leaving their child in a safe space
When they're not. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky, guys.
I feel like even it's tricky anyways. But single mothers, they have it.
We have
harder.
the like we have the back end of everything.
Yes, they have it harder because it's like when a divorced mother makes contact with the father, and there's another woman,
We don't.
or when a single dad makes contact with the mother and there's another man. It's a matter of, oh, you want me back, or you just want to always have something to talk about because you want me to talk to you all the time. But there's a human being, like one, sometimes, most times more than one. There's a human being here that you guys both have.
Mm,
And now it's an issue when I communicate with you.
yeah.
I don't know how that makes sense, and I don't know how, as the partner now, how are you how are you making it so that your partner has to choose? Do not talk to your ex-wife, even if she's calling about the children. If there's an emergency, your ex-wife won't pick up the phone and call you first, or your ex-husband won't pick up the phone and call you first. They will send you an email and hopefully wait that you respond. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
It goes back to emotional intelligence.
But
Like, if both parents could just say, we're putting the child or the children first, it makes co-parenting so much easier. And it makes even the new partners that are introduced into this party to understand that the children come first.
And they will fall in line with that.
They will fall in line with that. Like, if both people just like, you know what, my children come first. My children come first.
And there are successful stories of people that have separated,
but still,
but they are the
best co-parents.
There are many people like that out there.
Yeah, I think it also stems back to the other party still wanting to be with the other party.
But I feel like even if you want to, there's a point whereby you realize that it's not working or it's not happening, and there's for example.
Listen, there are a whole lot of people that are very delulu. Listen, you could be married for 10 years now, you've left that other marriage, you're now married for 10 years, and they're still delulu little. They still believe, listen, she's going to divorce him too and come back to me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and then there's these three elements that I feel that divorced parents deal with.
Mm-hmm. Family.
Guilt,
Mm-hmm.
loneliness,
Mm-hmm.
and burnout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nobody speaks about that because the minute you tell people you're lonely, the minute you tell people you're tired, the minute you tell people you feel guilty about the situation your children are in, not that you feel guilty for choosing to choose better for them, but you feel guilty that your children are not spending as much time with their other parent as they were before. You feel guilty that they were used to having two parents in the household and now they have one. And sometimes they have to take the good parts of you and the bad parts of you. But when there was another parent, then somebody else was the good cop and somebody else was the bad cop. So when there was a bad cop, there would be a good cop. Mom would be good cop or dad would be good cop. But now they just have to deal with, if mom is angry or if dad is angry or if dad is upset about what they've done, That's it. There's no other party
To
that's
say,
gonna sweeten
mommy
the
did
deal.
it this or daddy, mommy
Yes,
did,
you know.
yeah.
So you have that guilt that my children, shame. This is not the life I had pictured for them. And then you have the loneliness. Before you move on, before I think human beings are creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
We get comfortable. We get comfortable with coexisting with other people.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just nice when the house is full.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we're doing our own thing, but it's nice. I know with me, my husband, even if I have my laptop open like this and I'm working, he will still want to do this. He could be even falling asleep, but he will still be just just to check. Like I don't know if it's a check, but it's just habit because he's so used to having me around.
As long as there's someone
As
there,
long as I'm there, then there's that sense of it's
I'm
not
not alone.
I'm not, yes, and my wife is here, and there's that comfort that comes with it. That there's that feeling. Even if I'm not physically paying attention to him, let's say I'm on my laptop, I'm busy with something, and it's bedtime, and we've said our good night, we've spent our time together,
Yeah.
like, and it's just good night, and he sleeps, and I just need to finish something, I need to present something, I need to do something. So I use that time. It's a sense of habit. But when you are when you have, especially when you're the one who left,
Mm-hmm.
you can't speak about that.
Yeah, you made a
You
choice.
can't be lonely.
Johnny,
How you
how dare you?
you can't be lonely. You had a partner, Moss,
And you left.
and you left. You tired.
What do you mean? You chose to live with the children
You
alone.
tired. You left. You left another human being that was helping you. The person who actually brought them into the world with you. You left them. So what do you mean you're tired?
What must happen now?
Oh, shame. Should sorry.
Should sorcha.
Sorry. Guys, why are we like this though? Why are we a society that is not safe? We are not a safe society. We're not safe. We're not safe. We're just not safe. We're judgmental. We don't love each other.
You can't just say, let me just put my shoes here. Let me try and fit. Ooh.
Yes, let me see how.
Ooh.
Imagine. You can't
Imagine yourself.
in the next
Like really, really imagine yourself. Like put yourself there. Like really. No. How dare I?
Yes.
My life is so perfect.
But I do think that it's important to find support structures.
Yeah.
It's important to find family members that understand, family members and friends that truly get it. Not family members, because there are people or friends that act like they're supporting you, but
Like for example, like when you get married, you're prone to be in friendships with other married people.
yes.
Sometimes we tend to also even lose good friends because now they can't associate themselves with somebody who's now left their marriage, or like it's like you're now it's like you'll be considered that, yeah, now you're gonna attract this type of energy. Now your friends, like, they can't associate with you because you're now gonna make me like. And the thing is, when someone leaves marriage, you're not leaving it because you don't believe in the institution of marriage. It takes a lot for you to, because when you marry someone, like,
you believe
in what you're doing, that this is forever. So now at times you tend to be very lonely because then everyone slowly drifts away from you, because then now you this every day is a challenge. Like every day, now this happened, you're now crying again, like you don't have anything good to say. Now the other person is like, oh, my husband did this. Like sometimes they feel like, sometimes maybe they feel like they can't tell you this because now you're going through this. Or at times you feel like you are burdening somebody, like, oh, now this happened, oh, now this happened. Like it's a constant because like, oh, now the house burnt, oh, now this, like, it's tough. It's really tough because at times you find that people are not drawing away from you. You sometimes will draw yourself away from that person because
you don't want to cause more problems in their
lives.
Yes,
or like to start, because what could have been a red flag to you, another like your friend who's in a relationship, partner could have just made a mistake. It's not the same thing. But because now you're saying, oh, my husband, for me to leave, this and this happened now. So at times you sort of isolate yourself, and then you're lonely, and then why are you lonely? You know.
And then in that isolation, you also have this pressure of being the perfect parent. You have, especially if you're the leaver, you have this pressure of I have it has it has to be right. It has to be for a good. It has to be right. I couldn't have left. How I couldn't have lived, and then it's imperfect, and it has to be perfect. It needs to sit like this.
If it's not like
if
that,
it's not like this, or if it's like this, then it's not. It wasn't worth it. Why did I leave?
yo, yo, hey guys, we become our biggest critics.
We do, because every little mistake you make, every little thing that's not in order, normal things that you made when you were. But also, I also think that it goes back to the expectations that society has of us.
We carry
Anybody,
them.
yes, anybody who's looking in, what are they going to see? When you were part of a unit, when it was the parents and it was children, when you made this mistake, let's say you forgot about a play and you guys were part of a unit, nobody's going to judge you. When you are a single parent and you forget a play, or you don't make it on time to the play, then
you're a bad parent.
Where are your priorities? It's because she's busy. It's because he's busy. He's dating. They have the mind is full of all the other people that are.
Yesterday I saw you with 2 champagne glasses. Now all of a sudden you didn't go to the child.
Yes.
But that could have happened with your husband.
You had a husband.
And you had a bottle of wine and fell asleep and forgot. Oh, I forgot to buy the black t-shirt for the play for the child. But then now when it's now one parent, listen.
The amount of red tape that is associated with you being a single parent, it doesn't matter anymore. It's a mistake when you're part of a unit. When you're single, it's a catastrophe.
It's not. It's a fail.
It's
a fail in that report, because
there's somebody with a report that is ticking off. Oh, they live only in a 4-bedroom house, and she's got 5 kids.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, that means 2 kids are sharing.
Oh no, listen.
Oh no.
Bad parent.
No, bad.
Let it be a household. You are married. You've got 5 children, 2-bedroom.
It's okay.
There's no reports.
There's no reports.
Listen, we're not marking anything. There's no assessment.
It's a quaint little family home. That's what it is. It's a quaint little family home.
Let it be a single mom in a 2-bedroom with 5 children. Listen.
It's gonna be this.
Listen.
Can she
actually do this?
Can she do it? Does she know what she's doing?
Bring me your bank statement.
Yes.
Where do you work?
Yes.
Who is the nanny?
What do they do? How are they with their kids?
Where are they from? How many off days do they get? Oh my God. Fail.
So with all these fails, then sometimes now there's the aspect of the legal system now having to intervene, because the parents cannot
come to an agreement.
They cannot get it together to make sure that they are co-parenting these little humans successfully. So now when the legal system comes in, the checklist is about as tall as I am.
If not more, my dear.
If not more.
Kilimanjaro.
And this checklist does not exist in a household where there are 2 parents.
Yep.
It doesn't exist. Nobody even bothers to check in.
Yep.
You have households where you are hearing atrocious stories of hectic things that I don't even want to talk about on a public platform. Things that are happening to children, things that are happening to the mothers, things that are happening to the fathers, things that are happening in this household, things that the children are being exposed to. But nobody is looking in, because both parents are together.
Yeah.
Both parents are in that household.
Literally, the 2 parents could be killing those children.
They could.
And no one says anything.
Nobody Nobody even wants to go knock on their door to check in,
Yep.
to check in on how they're doing. But the minute it's a single parent, they need to have they need to have balances in place. There needs to be family that's supporting them nearby. There needs to be proof of school, proof of this, proof of education, proof of um, are they eating? Is there food? Are you getting paid as a parent? Yes, okay, fine. That is an important factor. Yes, I understand that. But when it's two parents, even if both of them are not working, nobody comes.
Yep.
Nobody comes. Nobody looks into it. Nobody cares.
They don't care until you become a single parent.
But why is that? Why is it that
Until until you go and look for a school.
yes? Then it's a problem. Why where's the father?
Where's
The
the
mother?
father? Where's the mother? Where's the father?
Why are you alone? So now who's gonna fill in this?
Yes.
And then you'll find some clerks will have the nerve to tell you that they better not see another person coming to fetch.
If it's the father who's coming to the, I better not see another woman to come fetch these kids. Then
Yes.
I better not find another man coming to fetch these kids. Guys, why are we like this?
And you know what's the worst part in all of this is that the person who makes the decision to leave, 80% of the time, they're not leaving for their own benefit.
Yep.
They're leaving because they can see that if they continue to stay here, then the kids are being exposed to something that is detrimental to their mental health.
Yeah. And
we forget that we are raising future husbands and wives. And you see these patterns now coming back into reality where a child grew up in a home whereby the mother was abusive or the father was abusive, and they go on and they get married and they repeat the same pattern.
And you start seeing those things. Like, for example, you find the mother would say to the father, when they're angry, I will kill you.
Yes.
Then you find your daughter now saying they now when they fighting or
amongst each other,
they say things like that, and then you'd be like, what is it?
Where
then
did they get that from?
Like, you need to be honest with yourselves. Like, we can't be raising children that need to heal from their childhood anymore. We cannot, because that's what we were exposed to because of this persevere.
Yes.
You need to stay. You need to make it work. But if you are killing your child in the process of that, then are you really staying? Are you really staying for the children?
But that's the thing now. It comes back to this, that society now, I would say society, because you cannot break out of a marriage without, you need to be fit.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be fit financially. You need to be fit emotionally. You need to be fit intellectually, because you are challenged at every corner, at every step of the way. You are questioned. You are judged. You are looked down upon. You are inspected, if I could say that.
Yeah, you can't. If you are married, a household, you can one day be living here. The next day you'll move to Cape Town. The next day you move to England.
It doesn't matter.
Nobody's
gonna ask a question.
Divorce.
You can't move with your kids, even if it's for work. You cannot relocate.
You cannot relocate if now something is offering you
something better,
a better advantage to take care of those kids. Can you provide? Can you do this? Listen? The government be like, yeah, whoa.
So
it's a lot.
I think that we need to get to a point as a community, as society, we need to get to a point whereby we are not so harsh on the parents that are trying their best. We need to sort of accommodate them and meet them halfway. We need to see. I feel like the systems are so rigid. Everything is so by the book, and if you one step out, then it fails the whole thing. Never mind that you are safe for the children to be around. Never mind that you are a happy place for the children. Never mind them that you are a loving place for the children. Never mind that you make the children calm, you make the children relaxed. Never mind the aspects that you bring. But because you don't get 10,000 rand in your bank account a month, then you cannot
You're not good
you
enough.
cannot. Rather, let's take them and put them with the 10,000 rand.
Mm-hmm.
And even if with the 10,000 rand they are abused. If they are abused,
Mm-hmm.
they are spoken to in an ill manner, they are taught things, or they are exposed to things that are not fit for children. It doesn't matter, as long as there's that
10,000 rand
in the account. And that's scary.
It is.
That is for me the scariest part. And it could be a reason why most people choose to stay.
Yeah.
It could be a reason. So
Because at least they know, they feel like, okay, they can shield them just a little bit.
Yeah.
Then when they're completely not there, and the parent
The
with the
other
money
party, yes.
is there, then
You know.
it's a lot.
But to close off, I just wanted us to now define success and happiness
Okay.
as a single mom, as a single dad, as a single parent.
Mm.
Success and happiness. For me, I'm in my home.
Mm-hmm.
My children are happy. They wake up every day and they get to be kids. They don't have to worry about grown up things,
Mm-hmm.
because the time is going to come when they are not kids anymore. And in my present life, so many times I'm just like, oh gosh, it was so nice when I didn't have to worry about the rent. I didn't have to worry about our next meal.
Have to worry about how am I gonna get to school,
How am I going to get to work?
or like
it was so nice when I would pick up the phone and be like, Dad,
this.
I need money for
Like,
this.
Dad, I charged the money for transport. I need
Yes.
to go to school. Make a plan.
Make a plan. You know?
Mama, nagucha.
Yes. It was so nice. And for as long as the children can stay in that bubble, they need to stay in that bubble.
As long as possible.
Because unfortunately, we cannot go back.
Yep.
That's the thing. We cannot go back. The only way is forward. And forward, Ziakal. Left, right, and center. Forward. Everywhere you look, you will find that it's going down.
Yeah, and we're not going to be there forever, in as much as whenever our children get stuck, even when they go out there. But at some point, we're not going to be there forever. We need to.
Yeah. So for me, that's success. I am a successful mom when my children are children, when they are happy, they are, I'm not saying spoiled.
Yes, all they care about, all they must be worried about,
Is,
mommy, I'm bored.
yes, mom, I'm
Wait,
bored.
mommy,
Can we go
why is the
somewhere?
Wi-Fi not working?
Yes,
like
just like the
little things. Can I go and play with my friends? Can I go for a sleepover? Like,
Yes.
those are their stresses. Their stresses that mom said
Well,
no.
mom said
My mom
said-
doesn't want us to
my
go to
mom said we can't
Starbucks.
sleep. Yes, my mom said we can't go to Starbucks.
Listen, those are the stresses of kids. They shouldn't be worried that
What are they gonna eat tonight? Is there food?
If my mom and or my dad and my this are not, no.
Yes, or if mom is not.
If I want to speak to the other parent, then the other parent doesn't want. Like, if I have something good about the other, like, please, please, let's protect our.
I think yes. I think to close it off, let's protect
our children. Yeah.
Let's protect our children, whether or not the home is what we had thought it would be, because I think that's what holds us back. It's what we had thought life would look like.
Yeah.
And when it changes, we cannot adjust, we cannot adapt to that, and the people that end up getting hurt
are the children. Kids. Yeah.
Let's protect our children by all cost.
Yeah.
And means. Oh my goodness, that was.
We will talk and talk and talk.
It was a hectic hour of just talking about these things. Guys, we would love to hear from you. Let us know what your take on this is. Share your stories with us. You never know, guys. Maybe you can end up having a chat with us too, telling us or teaching us how you managed to navigate the situation, ways to help other people in the situation or potential situation, and how they can make the best life for their children and themselves. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Chat with Lily. We cannot wait to see you guys next time. Keep the conversation going.
Please make sure to like
And follow. Bye.